Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen at the All-Star break with the two captains, and now that we get to see the draft. We get to see who's taking. LeBron said, hey, I'm all for letting you see this, but then he didn't want to tell us who his team was or how he drafted his team. So what do you think of this new idea that we actually get to see the captains picking their teams?
Well, I would caution everybody for excitement first. I heard the announcement, but there was no official details. So, I'd be careful with that, But I think it could be good. I think that you'll see who the true friends are, what alliances are. Some guys pick friends over talent or vice versa. I do think, though, that it'll incentivize guys to play hard. So imagine if I'm the 8th picked and I'm the man. I'm from Utah. I'm from wherever. And, I'm ticked off about being picked so late. Hopefully it will, incentivize guys to play harder because they don't like where they're ranked. Kind of like when you're picked in the league and you don't like how low you were picked and you go all year trying to prove that you were a higher pick than that. So I think there definitely could be a lot of benefits. I think the teams will be closer of chemistry. The coach in an all-star game really doesn't matter. And I think that this will help coaches reinforce what coaches want, play hard, look for each other, things like that, because every guy wants to do it because he feels like he's been left out. So I think it could be a great thing, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. But the only thing I don't like, these are the greatest players in the world, and today with all these Twitter finger gangsters, players, people that know it all, I just don't like the fact that someone have to be regulated to be in last and have to hear about that when really they're one of the best 24 players in the world.
Who would you pick if I gave you the first pick?
Durant.
Okay.
Period.
You wouldn't worry.
Durant is more.
Period. See,
Period.
You wouldn't worry about upsetting LeBron?
Huh?
You wouldn't worry about upsetting.
This is so funny, Not worry about.
Okay.
I'm trying to win. I mean, it's like at the park. No, I wouldn't care about picking him.
Okay.
I mean, if all my legends were alive, I would pick Wilt first. I wouldn't care what anyone else said. I wouldn't care.
Wait, you take Wilt over Jordan?
I would take Wilt first. Period.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get other picks because you can go with Jordan second. I'll get the logo. You go with him, I'll get Magic. You go with someone else, I'll get Shaq and make him a forward. You go with someone else, I'll get Koozie. You go with someone else, Pistol Pete. I definitely would start it off though with that. Yeah.
But I would take Shaq over Wilt.
Okay. I definitely could see that. The Wilt ran hurdles. Wilt is still was one of the greatest athletes. And even if those two, kind of negated each other, we still got more picks. You know what I mean? So it would be, now that would be awesome, to be able to somehow do that. But I wouldn't be worried about not picking LeBron. But I do think that you'll see, maybe, guys with alliances pick each other, or how does agents play into it now? The fact that your agent might say to you, hey, man, come on. We need our roster, and our agency to be to pick the first 7. There's going to be a lot of political games, and that's not what I'm looking for. So let's enjoy the first couple of years while hopefully it's as innocent as it can be before it starts going to, some other stuff. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. And, Durant would be my first pick. Or if I'm Golden State, I'll try to pick all Golden State players. I mean, it's going to get interesting. If I'm on the East, what if I want all East because people have been talking junk about how weak the East is, or if I'm Embiid and I get a pick, or not that he would get the pick. I don't know how they're going to choose the captains, but maybe he picks all big fellas. What if it was Embiid, Anthony Davis? What if it was just all 7-footers, on one side? I mean, it could be some interesting things going on, especially when guys get upset, about the 3rd, 4th, 7th pick, and meaning not the guys that got picked, but the captain that says, wow, you picked my guy, I wanted him. So I think it'll be a lot of gamesmanship, and I actually think it's going to be really fun, hopefully, the way they do it the first few years.
What if I said you could have, let's say Boogie Cousins was completely healthy and playing the way he did last year before he got hurt. I gave you Golden State's roster or you could have the rest of the NBA for your All-Star team?
I would take the rest of the NBA.
Okay. All right. But you at least paused. You paused. Okay.
Yeah, because I had to think about those other names. I put AD on Draymond. I put Kawhi on Durant. So not that would work, but at least, yeah. They would have the chemistry. They would have the advantage in the chemistry. But I think defensively and size, I could get some other people. But I thought what you were going to say was if Boogie Cousins was healthy, would I take, him, Durant, who's taller than Boogie Cousins. Everybody needs to know that. Durant is 7 feet. AD, Embiid, and let's go Jokovic. Oof, that would be – no, what am I talking about? Let's go to Greek Freak at the point guard. What am I talking about? And then I'd love to see that bigs versus littles. You never know, man. We got a lot of options in this. You're getting me excited. Just kind of running through the options of what the All-Star game could be.
All right, I want to know. We're talking to Chris Webber. He's on the call tonight. Rockets and the Thunder at 8 Eastern. What did you see when you saw the Duke freshman the other night?
Honestly, I didn't watch the game. I went back and saw some of the highlights, and I think Coach K is a great coach, a better person, and it's probably not a better place to be if you're a group of freshmen that want to play well, win, and move on to your career. So I'm excited to watch these guys.
Didn't bring back any thoughts of the Fab Five for you?
Like with all the comparisons, very honestly, when I saw the cover, the Fabulous Five, I thought, why would y'all do that to these kids? Because you remember 3 years ago or 4 years ago, that's how funny it is. I don't even remember who was on the so-called best team ever with Kentucky that said they would have destroyed us and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know who's on that team, and I'm not dogging them. What I'm saying is that until you do it, I don't really care about all the other stuff. Like, that was a great first game, and I'm happy. Zion, I love the young kids. I want them to do well. But as far as the narrative, you got a long way to go because it's a long season, and I'm sure Coach K is telling them, we won one game, so what? You have all the media, you have everybody love you. It's the story of life. People love you, jump off the bandwagon. What happens when adversity hits? What happens if a player gets hurt? What happens when guys are feeling themselves and they don't go to class or they don't run in practice? I'm not saying that's them. I'm saying those are the traps of anybody being talented. And so my whole thing is I was just like, why would you do it to that? And the last thing, our class can't be compared with any other freshman class, period.
Why?
Period. There's no Christian Laettner in college. No Bobby Hurley in college. You name me one 4-year player that's going top 5 in the NBA.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because the year that I played them, who was the first pick? It was Shaq. Then the second pick, I think it was Christian Laettner. Then the third pick, it was Alonzo Mourning. Okay, come on, and I'm not talking about them. I know people are gonna want, but I don't even look at comparing us to anyone else because Zion is a once in a lifetime athlete, and so I love watching them play, but the comparisons is just stupid. There's no seniors. There's no seniors or juniors that could have played in the NBA. If you could play in the NBA, you're in the NBA. So you're playing against competition that's not in the NBA, which is you have to play who's ahead of you, and they're killing and doing their thing. But I don't get into all those comparisons. I never compared my favorite team, UNLV, with us. And I'm not going to compare my other favorite team, the Fab Five, with other teams, 30 years later that colleges changed, So that's just my thought on it.
Well, I just thought, though, with the hype of it, because there was so much hype with the Fab Five. We had not seen this before. And, the way you guys looked and acted and your age and just the style, like everything about it, it was like, whoa, wait a minute.
But we were playing against Bobby Knight and Calvert Chaney, Player of the Year, as a senior. We were playing against Jim Jackson, Ohio State, Big Ten's Player of the Year as a senior. We weren't scared of any other freshman. I mean, the best freshmen in the world were our friends. There was Glenn Robinson and, Allen Henderson, just a few other guys across the country. The best freshman, it was, 10 and 5 went to Michigan. So, that's all I'm saying. It was just we do not respect the play of Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner. We do not respect the play of Kenny Anderson. That's all I'm saying. Steve Smith as a senior.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. The context is so much different. I just want to continue to remember that there was a different culture then. One where if you were 22 years old, you were being drafted into the NBA, not 19. And so it's a little bit different. But they're so exciting to watch that. If a hater out there wants to say that I'm hating, well, maybe the only reason why you would hate because they are so spectacular. You want to distance yourself by years and context from anything. But it's their time now, Dan. Like, it's their time now, and I'm excited just to watch and see what they're going to do. And I would say, let them raise the bar. Do something crazy. Let's go. Like, don't have that moniker and not shock the world or something. Don't. Let's go. What you going to show me? I can't wait to see Zion come from the free throw line, jumping over 5 cheerleaders as he goes out on the break. Do whatever you got to do, but, just keep entertaining us, and I'm really looking forward, and I'm happy for the young men because they have a coach like Coach K that can help them both on the court and off the court, which is so important.
But Zion weighs 285, Chris. That's amazing.
That's something else. I mean,
18.
I don't know if we should.
18.
I don't know if we should talk to him and tell him, look, you could go out right now. The Kansas City Chiefs needs you, buddy, and you could play. He could play not even linebacker. He could play running back. He could be the new running fullback. I mean, can he catch? No, I love that kid and how humble he is, and I've been watching him a long time, and so seeing his consistency and how he's been is awesome for a fan like me to watch. And so I'm so excited. I wish these kids the best. I hope they break every record individually, collectively, and just chase their dreams. It's going to be fun to watch them go. But at the end of the day, they got to do it. They got to do it.
All right, before I let you go, if you were 18 now coming out of high school and you could go to the G League and they're going to pay $125,000, you could go maybe with LeBron and Rich Paul and his agency and have an internship and then train and get ready for the draft, or you could go to Michigan or Duke for 1 year. What would you do now?
Wow. So let's take it back to when I was coming out of college. My favorite players were Isaiah, Barkley, Bird, Jordan, Magic. So let's say Rich Paul was one of their guys when I came out.
Yep.
I'd hit Rich on the phone like, what you need me to do, man? Because
really?
Just to be around to be around greatness. You know what I mean? Because Rich is great. He's a wonderful guy. But his story is what makes him great, is that he came from the same place. He's friends with LeBron. He was patient, went through the struggles with LeBron, the frustration. Like, he knows if I went through something, he could say, well, when we went through this is what we would do. Who would have better advice on life skills of getting out of situations, into situations, or how to take care of your body, or how to play basketball, or who's the best trainer during the summer? I definitely would, I nothing against NBA, nothing against G League. They don't have more than that for these guys.
No.
And the travel still isn't good. You know what I mean? And really, the best scenario is one you probably didn't mention, and that's to go overseas and see the world. Because the players that I know that play overseas have a different, have a different way about them. When you're 18 and you go out and see the world and how the world is, it really busts all of your stereotypes about culture. And from the players that I've kind of mentored and have gone over there, it's really, they come back much, much more mature, I think, than, say, the 21-year-olds their age that have stayed here. So I think that or definitely working with a guy like a LeBron or Rich Paul would be something, because you get to work out with, I wouldn't want to play in the league. I'd want to work out with LeBron all summer. If I could be around greatness all summer and see what he does all summer, that's all I need. And that's all. Not playing pickup with guys that want to make it and won't pass the ball because they got to show the coach they can make the shot. So no.
It's pretty cool seeing you back at Michigan on the sidelines there. That was a lot of fun.
Man, that was pretty cool, man. Talking to the team, and first of all, Coach Brown on defense, man. All he did was tip his hat to me. And
was it emotional?
Like I wanted to play. It was emotional at times. My father was there. He definitely enjoyed it, and so it was a lot of reminiscing for us. It was it's overwhelming being in that football stadium. I hadn't been there in so long. And, just the memories, things that were said, things that I'd gone through with certain people, seeing a lot of the old athletic staff that was there. And very honestly, just being humbled by Harbaugh asking me. I know a lot of people have strong opinions about him one way or another. And for me, it obviously is going to help, with some recruiting. It's obviously going to help because it gives a great story. It obviously, you could overdo the kumbaya or whatever. But to me, it was, wow, this guy really, because for years he had been asking me, Dan, and it was like, man, you're coming. I'm an athlete. You're an athlete. We play here. And I'd like to just thank him for forcing the issue because him doing that made me ready. And so it was an awesome moment. It was something I'm glad I got to share with my father and go out there. And most importantly, we won the flip and we won the game, so it wasn't my fault. Anything happened. So it was a great experience. Yes, it was emotional. Yes, it was fun, and it was a blessing for me to have that moment with my father. Have that moment with my father, so it was cool.
Chris will be calling tonight's Rockets Thunder game. That starts at 8 Eastern on TNT, part of the Thursday night doubleheader. Great to talk to you, Chris. Safe travels. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks. Thanks for having me on there.
That's C. Webb joining us.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.